What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am back again with the Quick Stops podcast. I show you we alive. Well, I'm barely alive. I'm back again to talk about my away mission at Destination Trek. Yes, it was a long, enjoyable, drunk weekends of the pure nerdum. I will sort of do like a little bit of day by day sort of from when I left up until I the day I left to the day at home. So you get sort of a day by day. So I'll do an overall first thought. I'll do day by day, then I help you there at the end. So I did get comic book signs at the end. I did get a new crew badge. Sadly, no new crew top, only because I think they Master sort of didn't link. I think long term. I got a free pin. So I'll explain how I got that and a free commemorative block of gold pressed platinum. I did a show and explain. And that's what I was doing a free homemade triple. And I'll explain how I got these things, why I was doing these things, or might get to it. So, on the Thursday, obviously, left my house about 11-ish. The initial journey said, oh, you're going to get there for 4:20 to 5. Well, that was the original plan. So I was doing my journey, got to London, Houston. Got in the queue for the train up to Preston. That was the one you properly broke and knew sort of. That was like the longest one. That was the longest train I was on. While I was in the queue, I met someone who I totally. It weren't until she sort of said it clicked in my head when she was talking that I have her on Facebook. I'm part of her group, a Star Trek group. Her name's Donna. So Donna sort of said, "Oh, we'll get to Preston, wave me down, sort of travel. But we'll do this journey together." I was like, "Sweet." Done that. Eventually got to we done that at Preston, then we went from Preston to Blackpool North. Now initially I thought this is where we're going to separate, and I'll walk up to the hotel. It didn't end up like that. Did not end up like that. She looked at me and went, "Do you want a drink?" I was like, because we saw there was a pub opposite the train station. I was like, I told you, yeah. Forget it, I'm fucking limited. I'm like literally, my budget was as tight as a schoolgirl's arsehole sort of thing, just like money wise. And I'm like, yeah, I'll join you. Last night from mate, every drink I got over the weekend was, I think, paid for. Sweet. And should we double JD and Coke? I thought that'd be it. Then, like, we had that and 2 shots, and another double JD and Coke. I was like, fuck it, you only live once, and for me, it's like a holiday in Blackpool for free, so I'll enjoy it. So we left that bar, I think she went to do somewhere else to get makeup for her cosplay. As we were doing that, we saw one place that had these like dinosaur eggs. She bought one of them for her cosplay. As we were doing that walk, we saw an Irish bar. Yeah, we went to the Irish bar. Again, double JD and Coke, shots, then another day, JD Coke. Then we eventually sort of got a tram up from where we were up to the hotel. I said to her, I'll drop upstairs. Obviously by that point I checked in. I thought, well, I said to him, I'll go up to my room, be down in 10 minutes. Okay, went back down. No, then more alcohol. And her threat, like, people she knew joined our table, and I was again, people like, I think there was people like, because she was telling people I was crewing the event, people were buying me drinks, like, sort of thing. I don't know why. So I didn't leave the bar until 2 or 2. Bear in mind I was up at 6, very little sleep. So the first official day, when you woke up, barely. I don't do mornings, especially early mornings. I can be a miserable prick sometimes, I'm being honest. Went down, had breakfast. Well, I had showered and went downstairs and had breakfast. Eventually went to the main stage, sort of get what my job was, and for that day I was in the main stage, so I didn't have to move too far. So I pretty much watched all the opening talks for free. I got really lucky because the show didn't start till 2 on the Friday, so just about for a bit. And my pit boss, or my boss of that section, was really nice. I said to him, like, I want to sort of, actually, as I tell stories, I'll show things. I said to him, at some point today, between talks, can I get comic signs? And so I thought I'd ask for ahead of time, showing the respect by asking him. Yeah, that's fine. And lucky enough, he before the first talk was at like 2:15. Person who I got my book signed by got it like 20 past. I said, I went back when I told my book signed, I went back to the main stage, so I'm sorry, sort of thing. But I did get my book signed. Got it signed by, if you know Star Trek, you know this actress, Chase Masterson, and she plays Lisa in Deep Space Nine. So this comic will be my sort of sacrifice when it comes to autographs. This is one I'll be in between MCM and next year's destination, if they need me, which I fucking hope they will, they do. So yeah, so that was it. And watch the talks. The talks were fantastic. You had Connor Trinneer had one with USS Riker's Beard. That was a fantastic talk. You had, what's one of the talks now? We had one that was 3 cast members from TOS telling stories, which honestly was interesting as fuck. What's the other fucking show? This happened when I was talking Brain Power. Fuck me, what was the other 2? Yeah, I know there were 2 more talks, and then the opening ceremony, which was good. Which was how to scam people. With the opening ceremony, we were gossip party. It was the 2 high-end packages, which I'm being honest, one of them is fucking way overpriced in my opinion. You had Admiral and Captain. No, Captain Admiral. Basically, the high-end package, and the little one underneath it. The one underneath it, the one at the top, I think I want to say is Admiral. $2.5 grand. Why? I looked at what you get with that $2.5 grand one compared to the one underneath it, which is like $2 grand less. It's not a. It weren't a big enough jump. Well, it weren't big enough. Did you enough, in my opinion, to justify the $2 grand? If I'm paying $2 grand, I want everything they were giving, and like as a prop from one of the shows, whether it's other people saying small, like a fucking phaser or a fucking badge that a cast member wore. Once I was something like that small, you know what I mean? The fact that I think 4 or 5 people had that package. So you're looking at about 10 to basically between 10 to 12.5 grand just on like 4 or 5 people. I'm like, obviously too much fucking money in your hands. So done all that. Then we went down to the bar again. This year met with my new friend Donna, or reconnecting with my friend Donna, meeting up other people like from Shark Bay 4 and things like that. I think, and this is what I love about this show, absolutely love about this show, is you can meet people, right? I will have an example of this and all. You can meet people you've never met, but because you're on the same wavelength, right? You can sort of have banter with that person you've met that day for the first time, like you have with someone who you've known for 10, 15 years. To have an example. So, there's a couple of blokes who work with each other, we met. They probably did say the name up between the amount of alcohol we had, forgot it. One of them is, he said he was bi, right? So, me being irritating time, we were having banter with each other, but I kept mocking him for being gay. So I sort of skipped from going bi to gay. I was like, periodically was talking like gay boy and things like that, which I know some people will find very offensive and not very PG. I do apologise. It was a conversation where he was showing the tail, something who's like, the topic of like driving licence photos came up, and he was showing the table. I was, I think, the last person to see it, and I looked at it. I looked at the photo, looked at it, and no wonder why you turned gay. His mate pissed himself with laughter. And bear in mind, that's not the sort of thing you say to someone you meet for the first time that night. And I think we all three of us sort of clicked it, like clicked on quite well, because every time we saw each other we were saying hi and sort of like, and things like that. It was really good. And that was another late night, again around the same sort of time. And bear in mind, this was Friday, so Saturday I was between the door outside registration, the package bag collection table, and the door, one of these sort of arranging units in through to and from if we already registered in. Which was different for me. I was seeing people who I knew and met, and I was meeting people I've not seen for 2 years since the last time I went to Destination. So it was nice to meet up with people. Again, it was like when you leave the last show, that conversation is put on pause until the next show. The difference about this was as I was helping set up, so I forgot to mention this earlier. There was actually, I forgot to show my tree badge. Let's give a new tree badge. So, as I was helping set up, I forgot to mention this one on the setup bit. Lady there, lovely young lady. She comes up, she works on a stall with her partner. Her partner does the high-end sort of autograph stuff, things like that. She does pretty much everything tribbles. If you've seen it, if you know Star Trek, you know, especially the original series, you know what tribbles are. I literally kept the pin on the plastic. Yeah, that's so I can sort of remember the website and showed it in the video. Bit of free advertisement, you know what I mean? So she was showing me, on the Friday, she was showing me her tribbles. And that's not euphemism, by the way. sadly. But one of the tribbles she had was a Mirror Universe tribble. Came in like a clear box, and it came with an exclusive pin. I said, oh, I said, that's well told. She sort of said to me, if you see me at some point, on the weekends, I'll slide you all the pins. Me being me, I'm like, I'm saying thank you, but at the same time, I'm taking what she said with a pinch of salt. Sometimes they forget or they don't or whatever. But I saw her on a Sunday. I'm jumping around timelines here. Oh, it was Sunday I saw her? It was a Saturday actually. I saw her then, just putting all day rounds. And she sort of, as we were talking, she sort of slid across the table saying, first of all, it was a number, but it weren't. It was the pin. Like those with the tribble. Or if you are with the sort of tribble, if my camera's really dirty, or it's not zooming in, is my camera? Check. I think it might be my camera. I'll tell you the website anyway. It's www.tribbletoys.com. But that's the exclusive pin. I said, let me dip it on my face. No. Bit ashamed of that. I'm like, again, I don't expect anything given to me. And I hate receiving gifts. I'm one of those people, like, at Christmas and birthdays, I hate it in the sense that when people give you stuff, even if you take something like this, I hate it because I don't like the attention being on me. I fucking hate it. But I do appreciate the pin she gave me. But sadly, yes, I said I was between three places, and it was nice. It was when I was at the by the time I was doing the package skating tables, I was bored shitless. But by that point in the Saturday afternoon, people picked up their packages already, apart from one person. That was it. So, but when I got the doors, I went to bed. I was talking to people, things like that, making sure everyone was at the whole thing. The two main things I kept saying, and one of them was what other people were saying. I was as long as everyone's happy, I'm happy, and the other one was what happens in Blackpool stays in Blackpool. Which for one situation on a Saturday night, I wish that weren't the case, which I'll explain in a second. So yeah, we've done that. Again, Saturday night, so I back in the middle of this bit of the story, went to the bar again. This, again, I was pretty much getting pissed at Donna the whole time, and there was a point, if you've been to the Norbert Hotel in Blackpool, there's a bit, it's part of the seating for the bar and all, but it's sort of, it's mainly like a walkway from reception to the main bar area, past the breakfast and dinner's bit, but the seats there for people at the bar, and where I was sitting was like a settee, looking out at the beach. Yeah, there was two Donnas by the way, Donna 2. There on settee, but wrapped around who had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 people, one of them including Donna. And one girl we met night before who was getting pissed with us. And then as that was going on, the guy who was getting drunk last night before, his mate turned up with my new friend Leanne, and this was the girl who I wish I left Blackpool with me, because she was obviously talking. It was beautiful conversation going on. It got to a point in a certain night where she was standing now, stand behind me, playing with the front of my hair, like proper going in, as if, like I don't I, like as if we was in a relationship, but proper going in, and after a few minutes she was doing it, and I'm sitting there saying nothing. I thought I'm either too pissed, it's a dream, or whatever. I'm enjoying it, and next on the Sunday, I was on. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. I was at the Writer's Beard booth. That's out, keeping on their booth sort of thing while they were away. And Donna 2 sort of, or Donna B, second Donna, I saw her and we were talking, and I looked at her and a quick question. What's that? Did you clock that woman last night playing with my hair? She went, yeah. She did say she was probably going for it, wasn't she? I went, I don't know that woman. I don't know who she is. And even she looked at me and went, I thought you knew her. I went, no, that was the first time I ever met her. And as we were saying this, her, like, Leanne and her mate sort of came out and we was sort of joking about me playing with hair and things like that. And I said, oh, when I meet you at the bar tonight, I'll make sure my hair's washed and blow dried for you, sort of thing. And I was like, where's that? Man, word, I did. But it was because the first half of that night, I was sort of joining the Writer's Beard group for a few drinks. They say thank you for around their booth. They bought me a couple of pints. And then when they sort of don't want to do what they needed to do, I sort of went over to the end table to join her. They just lay my hair. And it was such a good night. I think the truth is, as a whole, the entire weekend was one thing that the Donna I met on the train gave me. So, like I said, she's part of a group I part of and things like that. They're based in London. So she gave I feel like it's quite funny. It's actually functional. She gave me a commemorative piece of gold pressed platinum. Sadly, it's not real gold. But it's to pretty much commemorate the destination this year. I think because with her group she was done a meet up at destination for the show. I think she must have been giving these out. But obviously because I was working I didn't go or wasn't able to go. But she gave me a USS Londinium NX 221222 Destination 25 piece of gold pressed platinum. The right line. But there's a little slip there. Could you put a card in? Which she said, people were putting bank cards in. She said, be careful when you do that because depending on the type of bank card you got, with ridges and that, can get stuck. Which my current bank card expires soon, so I might try it before I put it in. Which was quite nice. Which kind of I even said to her it was relevant to what I was wearing on the way up when we met and what I was wearing on the way back, which was my Quartz bar jumper. Obviously, if you see DS9, you know he loves Press Platinum. So, but overall, the weekend was fun. The shifts themselves were long, but they were longer when you were like me doing it on fucking like 3-4 hours, or about 3.5 hours sleep each night after the shit faced. Like last Sunday night, I was drinking with Leanne, and she had like a bottle of pink gin and lemonade. Like she brought into the bar. I don't drink pink gin. But when a super slightly older woman who plays with your hair, obviously pinching and lemonades, you can't really say no. Especially if you want your hair played with in, you have to say yes. That's how she obviously when she left, she left the pink jeans. She said, I don't really want to take it home." And it was when it was probably 2 measurements worth in now. So I was like, if I can pour it in my cup, lemonades. I was like, but I felt bad because I was like one of the last people to walk at the bar like that night. But one of the people we left with at the same time, I felt really bad. Because obviously by that point, it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you include that night, 4 nights of late nights, drinking, long shifts. I'm sitting there, like, listen, I'm talking to him, falling asleep, period, as he's talking, then waking up at the end of his question. But I don't know how I've done it, but I'm literally, as I'm waking up at the end of the thing he's asking, I was able to respond perfectly. I'm like, I felt really bad. So obviously when I left Blackpool yesterday at 9 AM, got back at 5. Was it 9? Maybe 10. But between 9 and 10 I left. And I literally got home last night, and I struggled for sleep before midnight, except for last night. First time in like 15 years, I was like, fell asleep at 9:30, or at 10 this morning. But overall, I know a few people moaned about what looked like not enough, and the sort of big one of the big guests this year cancelled at the very last minute. Like I think on the Friday, Saturday morning, he cancelled. The actor who plays Christopher Pike in Strange New Worlds was meant to have been there. They got a video which was posted on socials saying he got COVID. But the thing that pissed us off, it pissed me off because it made the company look bad. So I said to a few people, it makes the company look bad. And I feel bad for the guest, just this I wanted to meet him, was he technically checked in for his flight, then failed to got COVID. That pissed me off. Like, it more pissed me off for the fans. I wanted to meet him, but I don't know. But what they're trying to do for next year, because they've announced the dates for next year. From the top of my head, it's like the 21st, the 23rd of August, again in Blackpool. So I put it on, but at some point I'm gonna start saving. They've announced 5-6 guests. One of them is so what they want to try and do is celebrate the anniversary for I think TRS and Enterprise. But the one that just announced, I think, is a bit of will be the. I'll be surprised if they're getting on big as is Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs, if you don't know, played pretty much pick a fucking character, pick a race in like, especially like DS9 era. Pick a fucking race, and there's a chance he's played for that character. He's played tons. I'll be surprised if they get anyone that big because like the fact that the people when the attendees heard that the closing ceremony, they were really excited. When I told one of the stand owners about it, because he said you couldn't go to the closing ceremony. Second I said Jeffrey Combs is coming next year, he pretty much fucking got erect sort of thing. He was like that excited. So, and even he sort of said there'll be that's pretty much like the headline act for next year sort of thing. But overall, I think so. There's a few small things that I think they could have improved on, but I think they are aiming to. But the thing is, we were saying like this, and I would love if Retro Ed watches this. I want his opinion on this. I know Retro Ed has done Star Wars Celebration. Also, I would love to hear a sort of comparison between Star Wars and Star Trek shows, especially UK shows. Is with this, even though it was, from what I've seen with Star Wars Celebration, is you go for the show and the people you meet is secondary. With this, you go for the people and the show is secondary, which I know on the face of it may sound like why go, but these are people you don't. It's like it's it's the shows that are bookmarked each year for people. So okay, this is when the show's on. This is the weekend this is the time I'm booking up for that show to see people I've not seen all year. So it's people go more for the community and like-minded people. I think in my opinion I think it's more people, number one. I realise I've done that at Hampton. The people, guests, well, when they turn up, everything else. And for me, it's a case of everything's for free for me. Well, not everything. I still got to buy my autographs and things like that. But the money I'm saving on travel, the money I'm saving on hotel, the money I'm saving on breakfast and lunch, and this year the money I'm saving on alcohol, I can use on my autograph. And if I had a bit more money by me, I could have grabbed a few more bits, because one still had Star Trek comics, and there's a few ones he had, or a few books and ones he had I could have picked up if I had more money. But you live and learn sort of thing. Next year I'll be like, okay, pardon me, this is when the show's on, I'll start saving up from this point. And sort of, this will be money for guests, this will be my money for food, this will be my money or dinner, this will be money for whatever sort of thing. But overall, I enjoyed myself. I was happy as a pig in shit. I would recommend it for the community of Trekkies. More than anything. The show, like I said, you go for the people and the show's secondary. So if you want people that loves fellow Trekkies and like-minded people, and then even if you've never met them before, you do make a family for life, I do highly recommend the show. So if you want to go to the show, there's different packages and things like that, so you have options. But if you're down for like guests and things like that, I always say with guests, especially with any show, what they advertise, take with a grain of salt, because they even advertise on the website, things do change. Commitments change, illnesses happen, you know what I mean? So take it with a grain of salt. But again, if you are a fellow Trekkie, you love hanging out with like-minded people, getting pissed, in my case, getting my hair played with, is 100% worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a bit longer than I want normal, but yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed, and yeah, ciao for now.